What's up, guys? This is Josh.
And I'm Nick.
And we're the Billy Bros. Today we're doing a little bit of a different video, a little bit more of a serious video, and we're going to be talking about SQ 837. And so this is going to be a signature gathering for Oklahoma citizens. So any resident of Oklahoma can sign this petition and try to get this passed. So,
you're a registered voter.
Yes.
If you're a registered voter in Oklahoma, you can sign this petition.
Right. And so what we're trying to do is we're trying to spread awareness right now to the cause of getting rec on the ballot for next year. And we're really hoping it passes because it has a lot of benefits. So I'm really hoping that we can educate you guys and get you guys informed on why it's so needed to push this. SQ 837 will basically unlock and unblock all the business owners and all recreational users from accessing cannabis in most aspects. So a lot of the legal problems that the stores, dispensaries, farms, they deal with will be cut down. Coming from the perspective of somebody who's been growing, I mean, we've been growing, we've owned our store, and we face an insane amount of problems, and we see that there are other solutions out there in the other states that they don't have to deal with these issues, and we are having to deal with some insane taxation issues and legality involving non-recreational users. I mean, there's tons of people that want to use marijuana and they don't want to have to get their product or their medicine from the black market or anything, and then they end up having to anyways because they're not allowed to go get one from the store. They have to get a prescription. So why not just make it legal? It's not the same thing as a opioid or anything, and it's not as addictive. It's not physically harming. There's no case for deaths or overdoses. So it really raises the question: what are we doing, keeping it behind such a thick wall of legislation and bureaucratic, holdings?
If this does get on the ballot and if it does pass with the recreational, it will allow medical marijuana patients to not have a purchase limit on their transactions. So obviously the flower transaction is 3 ounces at a time. You have an ounce of concentrate and 72 ounces of edibles. This will abolish that, basically. And so nobody can tell you how much medicine that you need, especially the government.
So there's a lot more protection. There's a lot less problems for actual business owners. And, this is what we're looking for. It protects a lot of our rights and legal, language. So a lot of the stuff that we struggle with here at a farm is the language we use inside of the rooms and stuff, and how are we describing the methods of how we're either flipping a room or harvesting a room. The SOPs that we have are carefully written and carefully constructed so that we are dodging all legal problems and issues. And it's the same thing over at the stores as well, where you have to be so careful and you cannot misstep even at all. So for the people that think it's easy to own any of this stuff or operate or manage whatever, it's not. Legally, you are walking on eggshells and you have to cover your back. And this kind of stuff saves a lot of that pressure, and it saves a lot of the employment problems that have come with the shutting down of all these other companies. It allows people to have more jobs. More farms, more businesses will open up and all that kind of stuff. So recreational is more than just doing whatever you want and having fun. It's giving people job security. It's giving people a future, a career, and a steady paycheck, to being able to feed their families and, house their kids, whatever. So.
Yeah, and on another note, for the patients, it makes patient licenses free for veterans. So I don't even know why that's not a thing in the first place. To make a veteran pay for pretty much anything is ridiculous. I think especially for medicine like that helps with PTSD and health issues. This is so that you can actually own a gun in Oklahoma while you have a medical or even rec. So if you're just a consumer, it doesn't affect your right to have any kind of license, and it helps protect you from discrimination. So whether you're getting a business license or a firearm license or whatever permits that you need.
If we get this passed, we will get constitutional protections for all citizens who buy, purchase, carry, own, grow, and even have a business for medical or recreational marijuana. It'll reduce the sentencing, or if not, clear all sentencing for medical marijuana or recreational marijuana users. So it'll take a lot of that pressure down. You won't have to worry about driving around with it, whatever. It does bring back the state gun licensing for the citizens who use and buy and own recreational or medical cannabis. SQ 837, it will basically bring patient license costs down to about $100 or $20 on assistance. That's going to be obviously very good for the average American person in Oklahoma who is just trying to get their medicine. That is going to be one major plus, is the veterans. We care so much for the veterans, and it's pretty much the only reason why we're even this far into the legislative path. Medical patients will not be getting taxed the 17% or whatever. It is now going to be down to 0. And the 21 and up recreational users will be getting a 10% tax, and that will be basically enough to cover all the revenue that the government needed from the entire thing in the first place.
As far as the business side, so the current licensing that you have will be good for both medical and recreational, so you don't have to change any licensing. There won't be any licensing issues or changes. You won't have to get a new recreational license. It'll all be the same license, so that the government can't pull a fast one on you, or OMA. No new licenses issued for the first 3 years of rec, which is probably going to be a good thing, so the market can stabilize. I know we're down to very little licenses right now as far as medical goes, and
It's got to be less than 10%.
that's from your friends OMA and OBNDD. They like to put people out of business like that. It also resets license fees from $2,500 for a renewal license for OMA and OBNDD. So we own a grow, and we own a dispensary, and we pay $5,000 a year for altogether. This would bring it down to now we are paying $1,000 a year for both of our entities, and that's per license. So I mean, if you have a processor, a dispensary, a grow, if you have a transport, you're paying $2,500 per license. So that's a lot of money. It stacks up quick, and it brings it down to $500. So I wouldn't see how there's any bad reasoning behind that. So this ballot also gives you an option of a 5-year OMA renewal. So $500 times 5, you got $2,500 right there. That's your yearly pay right now. It protects due process rights, and sales start 60 days from passage. So as soon as the bill is passed, you got 60 days for sales to start, which is awesome because you got rec in 60 days. It doesn't even affect inventory. The dispensaries they'll have the same inventory for rec and medical. You don't have to change anything. Everything that's in your store, this bill protects everything, that it won't disrupt any supply. There won't be any changes as far as ordering new supplies, or your vendors won't have to do anything. This is all protecting you as a dispensary on the retail side and the grow side. So that way you don't have to jump through any weird hoops for those 60 days. And after, like, it's not going to change any inventory issues. There's a lot of good things about this petition and this proposition, and we need to spread awareness on this because we are losing time. We only have about 3 weeks left. I know we are over 100,000 signatures, but we need about 65,000 more, up to 75,000 more. We need 175,000 total. So it is very, very important to go to your local dispensary and especially ask about the state question. If they don't have ballots, we will have QR codes on our social media, so you can sign up and look into it yourself. We, as a Red Billy dispensary, we have ballots there every single day, so you can always stop by and come in and sign it.
Yeah, and they look like this.
They'll have some line items right here. What is it on there?
Well, it's basically it's the date signed, your signature, first and last name in print, your house number, street address, county of residence, zip code, and your birthday.
Yeah.
And essentially you have to be a registered voter to make this count. So we really need the Oklahoma people to step up and make this happen. This affects way more than you could even possibly imagine if you're just watching this, whether you're on Instagram, YouTube, whatever. This is so much more than just a silly video or an idea. It's more than just smoking a joint in your backyard. This affects people's lives. It's affected our lives for the last 5 years or so. And we're really hoping to make a difference this time. And it goes even further than that. We need to group and gather and really show support for things that we believe in and set the standard for the rest of the country. I mean, if we're going to be the heart of America, being in the middle, being in the Midwest, we need to make sure that we really set that precedent for our fellow Americans and really be strong in this and turn out to the polls and stuff. So
this is just a bill it's by the people for the people. This has nothing to do with the government. This is not a government mandated petition. They made this petition because they saw how every other state did it wrong.
A big shout out to everybody who's involved with getting this pushed and organizing, coming together. This is our pretty much first YouTube channel on the Red Billy page. So, and I believe it's the most important probably we've ever tried to come up with idea wise and stuff. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and that's it for us until next time. Peace.
See you guys later.